Now we are going to see in this video how to convert an attribute from one type to another. This is something that you can do when you are defining your survey. You're still in a draft editing mode of the survey. Instead, once you have published the survey and you start to collect the data with that survey, you cannot change the type of an attribute anymore. This is because otherwise you can break the data that you have already collected. But now let's see how to do it when you are still in this editing phase of the survey. Now to make the survey simple, we have created the cluster number as an integer attribute. But in most of the cases, probably you will want the cluster number to be selected by the user among a list of possible items that you have already predefined before starting the collection of the data. So what we are going to do now is to go to the cluster form, to the cluster number attribute. Instead of editing the attribute, go to this sort of hamburger icon, click on it and a menu will pop up. You have to choose convert cluster number. If we choose this option, you click on it, you will have to select to which type you want to convert your attribute to. Let's convert it into a code attribute. So we will define a category of possible values that the user can choose to be assigned as cluster numbers. We select code, we press convert, and we confirm that we want to convert this attribute into code. Convert. The attribute editor will appear. We have to define a new category. For this, let's press the add button to define the new category. Since it's the cluster number, we will define a category that is called sampling point data. Sampling point data. This is the name of the category. We will use this name because sampling point data is sort of a special category that will have some features that we will see in some other videos. For example, you will be able to show points of this category, of this list on the map. Now let's add a couple of items, just as an example, in this category. We're going to add 2 items, for example, for 2 countries. Let's add in this first item, let's add an item we code 1, and we call it Italy, for example. And we will add another item with code 2, we call it Spain. So let's do this. For example, we will collect data in Italy and in Spain as clusters. It's a very simple example just to show you how it works. If you want, in this category you can also define some extra properties. Extra properties can be used in expressions, for example in validation rules, or when you want to define a default value. You can use something that is associated to these points, to these items in the category. So when you want to create or modify the extra properties of a category, go to the top right corner to this sort of gear button and select edit extra properties. We select this, we add a new extra property, we call it location, because we want to store and associate to every item a point. We select as type geometry point, call it location, because this attribute, this name will be used to extract the location from the sampling point data and show it to the map, and we will see it later on. Save this change. You can also close this pop-up. Now if you go to every item, you will see you have some extra information that you can specify and associate with that item. We have this extra properties section with the attribute location that we have just added. Now I'm adding in these x and y fields the coordinates, for example for Italy the coordinates of Rome. For Spain I will add the coordinates of Madrid. Let's close this dialog. And now we have associated the sampling point data to our cluster number field. You can choose if you want it to be displayed as a drop-down or a checkbox. Usually cluster numbers and the list of cluster numbers can be huge, so probably in your case you will have to select drop-down. In my case I can also select checkbox because I have few items here. Show code, as usual, it's optional. Sometimes it's better not to select it. Save and go back. Let's try to do a preview. And we see now our cluster number changed. You can select among these two options. Since we have added that location property, the extra property, we can use it to define, for example, what is the expected location for that cluster, and we can create a new location attribute, new read-only location attribute that extracts that information from the sampling point data. We will see it in another video.